Okay. Chat. Let me hear you. I need some chats. Give me some chats. Type words. Words. Yay! Hi. Hello, stream viewing god. Okay, now let's open the game. Let's see how behind we are here. I'm going to say the word poop, and then whenever I say that word, you have to type something back. I'm gonna say poop. You didn't. Maybe you didn't hear me. You didn't hear it. Okay, when you hear me say, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna give a trigger word, and then right when you hear the trigger word, I want you to type whatever you want, just fast, right when you get it, right when you hear me say it. So I'm gonna say diaper. Okay, so you're not that far behind. You're only maybe 25, 30 seconds. Which that's normal for stream stuff. When something's live, it never really is. It's not like 1-to-1. Can you hear hearing my dings on my phone that you're texting me? Sorry, the silence is deafening. I know. I'm sorry. Okay, well maybe it was that one message it just ate, and there was only one out of the many you sent. So maybe that was just a rarity. I mean, this is an entirely different platform, so it should still work fine. Yes, you are hearing the dings. Okay, so let's open a game and see if it works. No, that's not what I want. Perhaps they didn't like it. I want to make sure I can still see the chat while the game is up. Crunchy. Come on, the start a game screen is so fun and good. It's entertaining. Doritos. Oh wow, they're mating. Cool. Are you tired? Do you want me to call it quits for the night and wait till tomorrow, or what do you want to do? Finally, released from the horrible silence. You're not that tired? Okay, we'll continue.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
She takes a sip from her silvery thermal cup. I feel like we're more on the same, like, wavelength now. I feel like I can, like, be cool and, what do they call it? Spontaneous? It feels so cool that you're, like, 30 seconds behind compared to 30 minutes behind. Okay, tell me about this alleged drug trafficking.
It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samar and Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years.
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff.
Let me get this straight. The materials come from Samara to Revachol through the terminal?
Yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track.
I'll light a cigarette.
The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter, north of here.
Is your stream buffering a lot, or is it pretty consistent?
Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am.
It hasn't buffered
Do you
yet.
mean to
That's
say
good.
the Union also produces the product? Sells drugs, I mean?
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no. As far as the company
you two
knows,
ate
the
another
Union does
comment?
not
Perhaps.
produce it. They transport the ingredients.
I should just,
They're
like, turn my
cut.
phone on and just have our text chat, like, next to me.
Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dockworkers Union. Still, every chain has its weak link.
The handoff. The motor lorries at the roundabout.
Yes, we've talked to them.
Precisely. Someone needs to move the ingredients from the harbour into the city. Once they reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers well beyond our grasp. But in transit, they're vulnerable. Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment.
Her irises are light
That would
green,
work as well and
like
be
the
more
river
alive.
Esperance
True.
in bright daylight, upstream where it's clearer.
I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you.
Well, sure, you can do that if you want to. I have my phone up.
Uncovering Union secrets could also give you an upper hand when dealing with them.
It's no coincidence the lorries are stranded there like that, is it?
No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries. However, this is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the Trade Committee, they'll have no choice but to lower the drawbridge, and the operation will continue. Thousands of litres of raw ingredients will pour onto the streets of Revachol. Not the east across the river, but the west. The vulnerable, the weary.
All these broke ass.
Cold breath rushes in from the bay, making its way down the alleyways and potholed streets. From Martinez to Jamrock, in the traffic you hear the clinking of glass vials, concealed beneath tarpaulin. Or is it just your teeth chattering in the cold?
She's hot and should ask her for SEX. Yeah, true. I should. I need to have fuck with her.
A lot of it. It comes in from large Samaran factories in South Safre, Sigai, and Sinyao. The literage they must get from this terminal
Sinyao?
must be oceanic.
Well, at least this solves one mystery.
What is that, Lieutenant?
Why I had to call East Motor Tract and beg them to open a drawbridge for me. I'd wondered since I first drove in, on my motor carriage.
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kisaragi, but we need them trapped here. This is a unique opportunity. I'm sure you understand.
We've already had some suspicions that one of the drivers were present at the lynching.
The two might even be connected.
Or not. Though, if you have evidence to the contrary, I'm eager to hear it.
As eager as I am to share it, Lieutenant, once the job is done.
Okay, I made up my mind about the smuggling investigation.
Yes?
We will take this case, probe the drivers, and see what it yields.
Excellent. According to my reports, there are at least 3 lorry drivers lingering near the roundabout. Hopefully one of them will know something. It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I can keep the drawbridge up for a few more days at least. You should have the time you need. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance.
I think that will be it.
Of course, Detective. Take care.
I never went in here.
A sturdy metal door guards the southwest entrance to the apartment building. It's locked. The door rattles against your knuckles, but there's no response. The door rattles again, but this time you hear an elderly woman's voice calling out from inside.
Stop banging on the door! I'm not letting any more strangers inside.
Who am I speaking to?
Doesn't matter who I am. Now go on, get out of here.
You have to be mean.
From within comes the faint sound of a broom sweeping across the concrete floor.
This is the police. Open the door.
The police? Everyone knows the police don't come round here.
Please let me inside. It's cold.
No, I already told you. I won't be responsible for any more strangers getting into the building.
Anymore.
Go check the backyard door. Maybe someone there will.
Backyard door? There must be another entrance to the east.
Kim, tell her we're real policemen.
Madame, I assure you, we are real police officers.
There is no reply. Just
Come
faint.
on. Okay. Can we get up there?
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Okay, she has nothing else to say. Okay, we can go through here. I haven't been here yet. Oh, there's the girl.
Are you trying to sneak up on me? Come to slit my throat in my sleep?
Apparently, she doesn't like people standing behind her back. Logic error. She is not sleeping right now.
Pig's come to take me out. Trying to snuff me out.
No, why would you even say that?
Then why are you sneaking up on me like that? It's not a good idea to scare me, pig. Not a good idea at all.
Okay. Oh, we didn't. What was this?
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building.
We got a +2 because Cindy's artistic impulses are infectious. We still need more conceptualization. Okay, you know what? Before we get on this sidetrack, let's go do the autopsy. Fuck, that's probably important. Just leaving a dead body out. What's this message? T shit ain't nothing to me. Where's my babe?
The rotting man lies on his side with his eyes looking straight through you. His body is supine and open to intrusion by autopsy. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Tell me, who are you, dead man?
I'm
Nice.
gone
Oh, shit. Where have you gone?
into the wild pale yonder.
That's me.
In the past, way out in the west.
I can see you're gone, but who are you?
I'm a joke. Look at me.
There's nothing funny about you.
There is nothing funny about jokes either.
Who were you when you were alive?
A killer. A motherfucker. And a killer.
I have another question for you.
Go ahead,
What's
Coppo.
happening?
What do you mean?
I'm talking to you.
It's the power of your imagination.
Whoa!
Go ahead. Ask me more questions.
Why do I love questions
You
so much?
fucking love questions. Because you're a copperoonie. Look at all of them go. Do
Give
you
me a
want
comical
more
amount of questions.
questions? Coming right up.
Yay.
Copperoonie, Rooney.
Is my name
This
Rooney?
is getting upbeat now. Fuck no. You're no Rooney.
I do strike myself as a Rooney.
No, you don't. Between you and me, your name is probably Harry. That's right. Stupid, boring Harry. Harry, the motherfucker.
Why do I feel like I've forgotten something terrible?
Because you have.
Who killed you?
Love did me in, Brother Copo. It was love all along.
Can you ask me a question?
Sure, Lobo. I can ask you a question. Why are you doing this?
What?
Looking at my face, motionless. Looking into my eyes. Standing here. Why are you investigating my murder?
I don't have anything else to do. This case is all I got. Because he told me to, nod toward Ken. Seems miraculous.
You're a lying sack of shit, Copo. You're doing this because there is nothing else to do. Everything else is over. It's just me now.
I hate you. You stink and you're boring.
Do I remind you of someone?
A child born with Muller's disease, harlequinism, grown up miraculously.
A baby affected with harlequinism.
You sure wriggled out of that one? Coppolini.
Enough.
Come back later, Corpo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your dreams.
That was weird. That didn't come up.
Come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them.
What
Yes,
you
we know.
do know is, at 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield volcano, Corpus Muindi, is the world's highest summit, and the failure of the 38 single, Epui Descent, to crack the top 20 was the death knell of disco. But what a field autopsy is, you have no idea.
I need some gloves.
Unfortunately, no.
I have gardening gloves?
They are better than nothing. Tell you what, I perform the anatomical side of things while you will take notes.
Okay, we just fill this in.
That's right.
Open your ledger.
The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists, describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts. Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with
1 assistant.
That's you.
Write the initials HDB.
the corpse is indifferent to your scribblings, just lies there. The next box says
2 coroner's case number.
KK57-0803.0815.
KK equals Kim Kitsuragi. 57 equals Precinct 57, followed by his date, 0803 and time of arrival 0815 on the scene. He's indexed the case after himself, not you. That's because he doesn't want to bring up the messy question of your initials.
Shouldn't we file the coroner's case under me? Technically, I arrived at the scene before you.
And what would that make the alphanumeric?
HDB 41 0803. Help me out with the time of day, anyone? Let's say 1300. A good time to start drinking. 10:15. It's understated.
Good. Let's go with that. NA. Next. NA. Roughly 50.
Dry 40. The damage is so extensive, it's better to err on the young side.
I'm gonna ride about 42.
He nods.
Race.
Mondial.
Fair to olive-skinned, from the Isola of Mwindi. This is as vague as it gets. You might as well say whitish. The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor anything other.
Fucky fucky!
Nice.
Male.
Pigs can have sex.
Yeah. Right, fucky fucky. No. Male.
Nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable face.
8, date of death.
We're still going with March 4th. 51. What else? 9. Body identified by is non-applicable. 10. Case number is the same as the coroner's case.
HDB 41 0803.1015 listens, motionless, with the cargo belt still around his neck. Only one box remains.
11, evidence of treatment.
None. At least not after the initial examination.
Yeah, what is treatment?
Interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem.
Well, we didn't, but Kuno sure did.
They'd have to have incapacitated and carried him over. This man was more than a match for untrained dogwalkers.
Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature, a holdout from pre-DeLorean burial rites. It takes him 2 seconds to perform. Then,
we should start the post-mortem.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper tries to answer why.
External examination.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodin, I think. Let's see.
See, it's happening.
Come on, Kuno, come on.
Babrodin, yes. Inexpensive. Size M. Color white.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid.
The boots are ceramic, vitreous enamel. They are fused to his skin from blood flowing downward post-mortem. Removal of the boots is left for processing. Tattoos. The upper torso is covered in a single, continuous tattoo, resembling a national pattern. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The ink is blue and white. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings, to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene, using a Trigat Mini. The deceased has a belt for airlifting cargo around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color yellow. Length 3 meters. There is a buckle on the other end. Well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age 42. Preservation is good. Ambient temperature below freezing. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with the age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
Touch the corpse's hair.
His hair feels wet, soaked with rain, cold to touch. Not that different from a living person after a swim.
Stroke his hair gently.
The stench is suffocating. Strands of dark brown hair start sticking to your hand, like thread off a rag doll's head. There's brilliantine in there. He's combed his hair back with oil.
Just keep petting him.
More hair sticks to your hand. Hair off the rain-soaked head of a dead man. There are bumps and dips on the skull below. An alien landscape.
I'll write it down, adding all the...
Lividity is
things.
consistent with hanging. The head is congested.
Brilliantine.
Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs. Consistent with stones thrown post-mortem. Low velocity.
Fucking low velocity? You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max. Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest. Consistent with predation. Ligature mark. The steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the bell so we can get to the ligature mark.
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
Oh yeah, I'm prepared.
The hanged man lets out a joyous little bubble of rot from his nose.
Good thing we got these chain cutters.
Always good to think ahead. Now, we need to cut the bell to see the ligature mark below. Carefully, with as much precision as you can.
See, my pig is gonna fuck his head off.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
Yes, I'm Kuno's pig, I agree. You didn't cut the belt off, no.
The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges like white bread rising from the east. The knot is the weak spot. The chain cutters fit in there, steady now, like a flower arranger. 2 cuts and it should come loose.
I'm not your pig, Kuno.
You are? You're Kuno's pig?
Okay, well fuck, I have to do this. I had a stupid argument with Kuno, it lowered it.
You jam the cutters right under the knot. That seems like a smart idea. Yeah, somewhere there. Already they're buried deep in the man's flesh. Then you rotate them to get a better hold. Then... The lieutenant looks by, somewhat worried as you summon power words to your aid.
Rotate some more.
A really, really bad smell is coming from there now. And some kind of cracking sound.
Okay, we're cutting.
Yeah, fuck him. Fuck that faggoty. Corpse fucking time.
Told you my pig was hardcore.
I should have a go first. I think I have a strategy.
Let him work.
He sinks the cutters into the knot, preparing to perform the cuts, with his elbow to his knee for precision. Snap. The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark around it.
Here. The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck, on the nape. Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters. Chest is intact, normal contour, abdomen is protuberant, pelvis intact, genitalia...
No, Kuno!
No! Get up and see!
No!
I fucking knew it!
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
Inspect the genitals.
The dead man's penis is average-sized, congested from the downward collection of blood. The testicles are uneven in length, hanging underneath. The genitalia is greenish. Marbling is present around the crotch.
Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip. In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin.
From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades, dispersal and accumulation indicates long and active combat duty.
The scarring is extensive, way more than a law official's.
We have a real museum here. Of battles, wars. Last item, hands.
The hand is surprisingly heavy to lift, filled with decay liquids. Feels as though it could explode if squeezed harder. You're suddenly repulsed, so much so you feel compelled to drop it.
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling.
Were you expecting any?
I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, this stench is making it hard for me to think at the moment. Ooh. That's all for the external. Well
Oh,
done.
it's working.
What next?
Internal examination.
Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral
If I
to
may
the
add the
story.
moral of the story.
What would that be?
The dead man looks, too, with barely contained excitement to hear the moral of his story.
The brain is very vulnerable to compromises in its blood supply.
I think that may well be the moral of every story, officer.
Alright, NA.
Good. Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it, gently. A rotting smell erupts from the mouth. Purge fluid runs down his lips, black and viscous. You hear cracks as the lieutenant moves his sharp fingers inside the flesh, like the creaking of an old house at night.
Yeah, jack that fucker off!
Come on.
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Unremarkable. Respiratory system. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen. Hemorrhaging present in mucosa of the lips and mouth.
No scream, no sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. Sickly sweet air, unlike anything living. You feel like you're about to throw up again,
Okay,
straight
just gonna
in
write
that
it down.
mouth of his.
Hepatobiliary. NA.
Why don't we have anything?
Are you a hepatobiliary expert?
Hepato means liver, and biliary, the gallbladder and bile ducts.
Am I an expert in those things?
Nothing in your alcohol-soaked memory directs to having forensic expertise on either one.
Okay, I don't think so.
Neither am I.
And that's it?
That's it. Same for toxicology and serology. NA. Cardiovascular. The body exhibits lividity in the lower extremities, feet, hands, and neck. Visually consistent with the hanging. Gastrointestinal.
This will do.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila.
Keep the voila.
What's next on the list?
Description of injuries.
Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck.
Bite marks.
You'll need 3 fields. Leave a 4th one too.
Be thorough if you want maximum results.
Okay, but what about the ones we did?
Oh, so we inflicted them?
Okay,
Okay, so there's an incision on the thorax from a chain cutter. I wouldn't mention it. Better not to muddy the waters.
I agree, the waters are muddy enough.
See? These pigs are fucking corrupt.
Fuck you, Kuno! You were
Why
throwing
don't
rocks
you
at him,
fuck him
dumbass.
if you love him so much?
Now, injuries.
Bite marks.
Head, chest, and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by
birds.
birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted. And your opinion, officer?
Non-fatal postmortem.
Agreed. Next injury?
Contusions.
So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it post-mortem.
At maximum velocity, fucko!
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath, the description of injury. 2 boxes.
Right. Next,
Ligature mark.
a dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck. with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured, the cervical column intact. I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible. Think for a moment. There's time. Don't rush.
Fatal injury.
That's it. We have established cause of death. It's not much, and it leaves much to be questioned. But it's a start. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over.
Leveled up. Okay, what do we want to do? Pretty low on the physical instrument. Seems like we're pretty okay on these. I don't care about authority. That's what I want to do. How'd it go?
Well, we established probable cause of death. Some would say that's the goal of an autopsy.
What else?
We were thorough with the list of injuries, too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? Given the circumstances, it was a professional field autopsy.
Oh yeah, well done, Master Detective. Maybe a drink is in
Perhaps
order?
a drink is in order later.
Now, you see, that worries me. You will die if you drink. You know that, don't you? You are proving a useful detective.
Oh,
The organization would miss you.
that's true. What now?
I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg for processing.
You tilt your head, also looking at the corpse. I'm sure we didn't get everything. There's always something.
Let's bag him, take him away.
Okay. I need a little help for carrying him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can take care of the rest.
What should I do in the meanwhile?
Continue working here. The locals, the case, or attend to your own business. I will meet you downstairs in the Whirling in Rags tomorrow morning, 7:30 sharp.
This means Lieutenant Kisuragi will leave the party until tomorrow morning. You're free to do side tasks and even the main case, though it might be more difficult.
Okay.
If you have nothing to do, read books or sit on the bench on the plaza.
Bag the corpse and drag it to the motor carriage. I think I have some books. Okay. Damn, man, I feel alone now. I don't want to do that quest without Ken, the bookstore one. Let's just see what we got. Let's read that. Leading intellectual organ of Martinez communism offers a radical Mazovian perspective on a range of contemporary issues.
The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late King Friesel. From the sides of his head, a pair of white antlers spread to the corners of the cover. Because white antlers are one of the symbols of communism, they represent a society in accord with the natural world and at the same time above it. Because Friesel was incompetent, foolish, and cruel. In short, the embodiment of everything the communards wished to overthrow. It's satire, you see. To your disappointment, there aren't any full-color pictures to direct your attention. Just column after column of closely set text, interrupted occasionally by little doodles in black and white. After rifling the pages with your thumb several times, you return to the table of contents. The magazine is divided into several sections. International developments, Kunst und Kultur, and local concerns. Just inside the cover, there's also an editor's note.
Okay, baby, we're about to learn about communism.
Comrade, as you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, Du cristal à la fumée. This was his way of describing the way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turn to smoke under communism. But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going à la fumée, unlike many publications which are content to spoon-feed their readers reassuring drivel. La Fumée is committed to telling the radical truth, even when that truth may drive away potential subscribers. Only 4 issues in, and it sounds like they've already alienated their readership. So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today. Yours in struggle, the editors. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you. This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPIS nations and the Free State of Semenine. You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the Messina border, something about bear wrestling in Samara, book riots in Yugograd. Whoa. Bear wrestling.
Alright, let's see what the bear wrestling's all about.
It seems to be part of a new public fitness initiative in the People's Republic of Samara, SRV, devised and promoted by none other than President Kenijinsky himself. According to this extremely credulous account, Uncle Sport, as he's affectionately known to his people, has recently decreed bear wrestling the national sport of the SRV.
Does that mean 2 bears wrestling, or?
Of course not. The article makes plain that this is man on bear, or in some cases, woman on bear competition. 2 competitors, 1 ring, 5 rounds. According to the SRV's Ministry of Information, the program has been a tremendous success. Public support stands at 87%, and youth obesity and alcoholism rates are down 12% and 7% respectively. This is the SRV we're talking about. If you think those are the real numbers, there's probably a guy who wants to sell you a bridge in La Chette.
I mean, it's hard to fight a bear if you're drunk.
Precisely. For too long, drink has been a scourge to the working class, and President Kenijinsky is deeply committed to supplying the people with more wholesome entertainments.
Just gotta plug this in really quick. Always good to catch up on foreign affairs.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
What is Kunst und Kultur?
It takes a moment, but gradually it dawns on you that Kunst und Kultur must mean arts and culture. Why they decided to title this one section in Volda is beyond you. As you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews of recent radio plays, as well as a brief artist spotlight featuring a local artist identified only as CS. The main feature, though, is a long essay titled Tip Top Tournée, a critical Mazovian perspective. The Tip Top Tournée is an inter-Isolari racing series, mostly known for its high speeds, ludicrous sponsorship deals, and high death toll. In Revachol, it's held quadrennially on the prestigious Zero Carousel racing circuit. This so-called artist spotlight is really just a brief Q&A, made all the briefer by the subject's evident hostility to her interviewer.
Alright, let's see what these communists have to say about Tip Top.
You think you're settling in for a relaxing recap of the most recent season, maybe sprinkled with some nice anecdotes about a few of the more colorful drivers. Instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000-word feature about all the politically problematic aspects of Tip Top Tournée.
Wait, what's wrong with Tip Top?
Where to even start? For one, there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorships, and then there's the practically criminal emphasis on deadly motor crashes. So, all of it, basically.
Hang on, who wrote this stuff?
Oddly enough, this article has 2 bylines. Nasteb Encolada Bernal and Exilus Buka. There's no way those are real names.
Why?
Have you ever met anyone named Exilus? Come on, they're plainly pseudonyms.
What's so bad about sponsorship?
Under capitalism, the article says, every pursuit has its price. Every pleasure, even one as elemental as the joy of racing others around a track, is reduced to an advertising opportunity. Thus, the so-called tournée becomes a competition between increasingly meaningless brand signifiers. Your discount laundry detergent racing against a pack of Astra cigarettes, or even a Frita.
Right, but then you get to see them crash.
And that precisely is what's problematic about it. Were it not for the promise of random, spectacular violence, audiences would quickly lose interest. At the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000 real races that you're really watching for.
Wow, you're right. I really am just in for the violence.
You see, one cannot avoid the conclusion that Tip Top Tournée is simply the apotheosis of spectacular entertainment under capitalism. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before. Unsurprisingly, much of this section is taken up with articles declaring unqualified support for the dock workers' strike. You skim the headlines. Paint the harbor red and white. Martinez tames the wild pines. A city in revolt. First we take Martinez, then we take La Delta. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Capeside Apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent.
Damn communists should have killed a lot of them when they had the chance. If it weren't for the wild pines, all those moochers would be out of a job. Charging rent just to live somewhere is pretty outrageous. Wouldn't it be better for everyone if labor and capital could reach some reasonable accommodation? This is pretty, radical thinking.
The writer G. Martin remarks dryly that capitalists love wealth redistribution, so long as it's only redistributed upward. It's true, the rentiers have been bleeding you dry. You really ought to find
Kill
your
all
own
landlords
place one of these days. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Okay, wow. What did I get for that? I'll do that.
Finger pistols. Are you a communist yet? Have you been converted to communism? My comrade? Are you a, I mean, you gotta be a comrade. Come on. I want to talk to my babe. Is she still on the roof? Yay, comrade! Long live the resistance!
You should pick that fat, juicy cigarette butt from the tray, light it up, and smoke the living shit out of it.
No. That was just a no. How did she get on the roof? Is it one of these doors?
The door is closed. Still nothing. Still, this door.
Is it this door? Can I get up there from my apartment? From my room? No. Let me go pee. Hello, bruv. Okay, so what can I do? I missed Kim already. Perhaps you did her a favor, could we have a formality? Find your heraldic bird. Okay, yeah, you know what? Let's go to the bookstore. We need some cockatoo books. Are they here?
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Heimdall.
Oh, Man from Heimdall. A very popular series of adventure novels. They're awfully immoral and violent books.
Why are they so popular?
Blood and violence, scantily clad women, epic narratives, all those mystical things he encounters. They're bound to grab those with little imagination and nothing to do.
Sounds good. Which one should I start with?
What does it matter? They're all the same. However, the customer is always right, they say. If you're a novice of the series, I'd recommend Heimdallaman, the Man from Heimdall. It's supposed to be a good introduction to the series.
Okay, I don't want to get that.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types.
Are they upstairs?
These shelves are
That's
overburdened
a pretty
with
epic
books
fucking
from the
book.
same series. You see the name Dick Mullen over and a couple of spook novels hide amidst all the detective books.
Okay, I don't need that.
The plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of famous people. This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also a wide range of paranatural. Amidst the various books, these three things are very important to the working class mind.
I'm wondering about ties to Buddhist. Didn't we just heard about here, like read about him earlier?
The point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people
we already
medicinal,
saw this.
various
That's what I
paranatural.
I was like, I thought I've heard that.
Several maps have been. The maps look old.
Okay. Maybe they're outside? Maybe I have to ask her. We'll just ask the bookkeeper.
You're alive and well.
License.
Don't keep me waiting now. What's in there?
Hold on, actually I haven't done
that
anything yet. I
dark
just want to ask a few
sarcophagus?
questions.
Oh. What about?
There we go. I'm looking for a book about cockatoos.
A book about cockatoos? There should be one upstairs. right next to the shelf of biographies.
Okay. Is that what this is? Everyone knows the most interesting thing about fascists was their magic.
A sulfur-crested cockatoo sits on the cover, its beak slightly open. It looks as if the bird is calling out the book title, From A to Zurich, a guide to a well-behaved cockatoo.
Flip to the page.
Turns out that there are so many different cockatoo species, and they all have behavioral problems. You don't have behavioral problems. That's garbage. You're cool.
True.
It's a must-have if you own a cockatoo. I've heard they're quite capricious.
Should I steal it? Chat, what are we doing? I need that book. I do need it. That is true. We're gonna try to take it. We got a high chance here.
You wait for the storekeeper to be distracted. When she's not looking, you haul the tome of cockatoos into your
The tome of cockatoos.
It's quite a challenge, but eventually, the guide to the cockatoos is yours. Splendid effort.
Okay, I probably shouldn't read it in here. Can I go sit down? She told me I could sit. Yeah.
You sit on the wind-worn wooden planks of the bench.
Oh, okay,
Your
so this is
feet
how I can
ache.
pass time. I don't need to do that.
A cockatoo is a parrot with an erectile crest, found on the Seminine Islands and in southern Fas a la Mer. Known for their intelligence and general precociousness, cockatoos are popular birds in aviculture. However, they often exhibit various behavioral issues. This book talks about the delicate nature of toos, as well as introducing some of the most popular species among the bird enthusiasts. The funeral cockatoo, the major majestic cockatoo, and the most common bang bang cockatoo. It's colorfully illustrated.
What are the problems?
Where to even begin? All cockatoos are known for their needy natures, requiring attention for at least
I know
2
someone
full
like that.
hours a day. They love to talk and have been described as lovable clowns who just don't know how to wrap up.
I can handle that. It would be nice to have someone to talk to when feeling lonely.
Pet owners also report moodiness, loudness, and hostility as recurring issues. If left unsatisfied, cockatoos may scream non-stop, pluck their feathers, or become aggressive. It is not recommended to get a cockatoo if you're not able to cook them food every day and give them the full care that they need. These birds will never understand that you have a life of your own.
There has to be something great about cockatoos.
You're right. Cockatoos are magnificent creatures. They love to perform, cuddle and show off, and will even scream for fun, often as loud as up to 135 decibels. Ouch. That must hurt. Not great for the neighbors. Performing. Yes, Birdie.
Yes, Birdie, yes. What's the funeral cockatoo?
This is a yellow-tailed black cockatoo. Its specific name, Psittacus venereus, relates to its dark and somber plumage. This bird looks as if dressed for a funeral, 24/7. There is something indisputably ominous about it.
The major majestic.
Perhaps the most impressive of all the species, the endangered major majestic cockatoo, is often described as the most flamboyant bird in the jungle. Its pink-colored wings and flowing crest embellishing its proud and bumptious nature. In the words of poet-explorer Sir James Fournier, few birds more enliven the monotonous hues of the verdant forest than this big, bold, and beautiful species.
Breakthrough imminent? What was that? Oh, it's the derealization. Okay.
Despite its banging name, the bang-bang cockatoo is actually the shyest of the species, common in almost all Cevenese forests, as well as zoos and homes all over the world. Its plumage is mainly grey and white. The Cevenese name, bang-bang, is thought to be of onomatopoeic origins.
That does sound a bit like me.
Yes, but all those cockatoo species are so different. Which one are you?
The grey and common bang-bang, that's me. Only the funeral cockatoo in its darkness can truly grasp the depths of my doom-laden soul. Isn't it obvious, Major Majestic? Here I come. But what if I'm just a fuck-up and a cockatoo? I'm a Major Majestic.
You're right. Your Majesty embodied. This big, beautiful bird belongs on your heraldry.
Okay. We never did look at these tattoos.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso of the hanged man, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time the lines intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing.
Wait, did we? I think we
Hundreds
might have.
of fading
Like lost or
asterisks.
something.
The pattern still kind of has an ethnic feel to it, but nothing familiar for you to discover. You've gotten as far as you will without assistance. Someone who knows about history could tell you.
Okay, history. Who knows about history? I mean, Kim seems knowledgeable, and the girl at the docks.
Gone. Jamais vu. Derealization. Jamais vu. The opposite of déjà vu. Not already seen, but never seen. Everything that should be familiar appears strange and new, like some half-forgotten day in your childhood. Only now. That's the feeling you've been having. And for who knows how long. You should go and ask Joyce Messier about this. What world are we in? This is a fundamental question. Finger pistols, 9mm. Snap, snap, baby. Turns out guns aren't that much for protecting as they are for attacking people. If you want to protect people, really work for them, you have to whip out your signature dual 9mm Villiers finger pistols. Who needs real guns anyway? That conversation you just had? It would have gone better had you snapped those bad boys at them. Note, 9mm dual finger pistols
They don't
do
count
not
as a real
count
weapon.
for an actual weapon.
Okay, well, cool. Let's see. Yeah, let's go talk to the girl at the dock. Not the dock, but the girl in her boat. Forgot her name, Joyce or Jace?
You're back. Good.
Joyce.
What can I help you with? Not an umbrella, I hope. I don't need one myself, you see.
All around you, rain keeps falling down. On the wooden boards she's standing on, and on the water around
I could use
you.
a coat like that.
Sadly, I need this one myself. It's hydrophobic, repels water, almost magically. The company makes them for offshore platform personnel. Very sturdy. What I can do for you is answer some questions.
Okay, so I already did that.
Nothing like
I
that's
don't
the man
remember
who
that.
was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question. Better not tie the fourth day to the Bat's day on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with.
Let's learn more about reality. Let's be a communist philosopher.
More lessons in basic reality?
We have
My favorite part of the day. Go ahead.
Okay,
Ask
what
me
is that?
anything.
Okay, we got a high. We did plus 12. J Mavu thought complete.
What is all of this? The scent, the sound, the air.
What world? The only one, I suppose. The world of matter. And its pale antipode.
The camera of her mind glides over the surface of the water.
What do you see?
Great bodies of water. Forest-covered surfaces. Clusters of light where the cities lie. You've seen the montage. We all have. This world is enough.
A frisson lifts the hair on the back of your arm. Wind sweeps the surface of the bay.
The world is a suzerainty of Revachol.
There is a term of endearment they coined for it in the DeLorean century, when humanity was high on this world, discovering more and more of it, these archipelagos included. Elysium.
Wait, is this the one with the evil apes? At least in the world needs a term. Endearment.
It does. There are those who would call it hell. A term of hatred that originates, like many such things, with the Mesk petro-fascists.
I don't feel like I got the whole picture yet.
Oh, you want a picture of the world? There is no complete set yet, dear. They're having some trouble reaching orbit. Great things are difficult to achieve. For now, we're viewing the world from the inside, sideways.
How about it's a ball?
That's looking less and less likely, Detective. You wouldn't know it from the tabloids, but the ORG nations have been launching weather balloons into the lower ionosphere since the 30s.
ORG, Occident Revachol Grad.
There's a steadily increasing trickle of images. Between the big three, they're piecing together a dark grey corona.
A dark grey corona?
Yes. Pale covers 72% of the surface. There are grey flares and prominences, even arcs above entire isolas. The images are blurry, but if there was a sphere in there, it certainly looks like it fractured a long time ago.
A cold fear seeps into you.
Oh my god, what the hell are you telling me?
You seem to be spooked. Please don't be.
Corona?
They say there is a rarefied envelope of matter surrounding the darkened disk of our planet.
It's getting very
That is,
existential.
if we are still living on a planet. Or, to speak more plainly, imagine vast swathes of land disrupted by nothingness. I am sorry, dear. It must sound quite terrifying through the acute encephalopathy. Even scientific positivism isn't entirely convinced about what we're dealing with here. But this is one of the greatest questions of our time. Maybe when they get the complete set together, it will jolt us out of our rut, bring us together, however naive it may sound.
Okay, and then everything will be okay?
I don't know about things of that scale. My expertise lies in nations and trade routes, one or several layers below everything. But yes, we'll be fine. Don't worry.
She does not seem convinced that you'll be fine. If anything, she's realizing how deep your condition runs.
It certainly doesn't feel like I'm fine.
You have misimagined it. I don't have the power to convey to you the effect and geometry of the images that depict our world from below low orbit. It's like the crowning of the world. It's insane. Very disco. You'd love it.
Well, if you say it's disco, it doesn't like any kind of disco I like to go to. I don't care about disco, I care about the commune.
See? Everyone finds something worth holding on to in this world, however wasted its opportunities.
The cold seeps into you. The air is heavy with 80% humidity. Suddenly, you're conscious of yourself standing there, on whatever this all is. Your arms hang down by your sides.
What is Pale?
The Pale is not, technically speaking, part of reality. It is the opposite of reality.
Okay, but what is it?
Okay. The Pale is the most dominant geological feature of the world, Detective. The separative tissue between the islas. It is the inter-islary mass.
An island is...
Isla is a Messinian word for a continent of matter, enveloped on all sides by the Pale. Also, isolation, or landmass. We used to believe there was only one. In the last 4 centuries, we have discovered 7.
Okay, like a continent.
Mundi, Seol, Samara, Ilmara, Grad, Katla, and this, Insulinde. An oceanic isla. It comprises mostly of water. Muindi is the largest, Katla the coldest, Insulinde the bluest. What can I say? Each is perishing and dear.
What is the Pale like?
Achromatic, odorless, featureless. The Pale is the enemy of matter and life. It is not like any other, or anything in the world. It is the transition state of being into
I'm just
nothingness.
imagining him doing this, like during all these conversations. The expression.
The negation of being.
That's right. The negation of being.
Is it here? We're a son of a Pale. How do you get from Ela to Isla?
Oh, it is so difficult for us.
A squall of birds. Hardware operating in the harbor. Firm. Self-evident.
It is possible to force dimensions on the Pale. In modern times, we can even compress its latitude, bouncing radio waves from one end to the other, shortening the path. But it is still hard for humans to navigate the Pale without getting lost, or having our minds damaged.
The Pale can damage the mind?
Extensively.
Oh.
Some say the damage stems from extreme sensory deprivation. Others argue that Pale somehow consists of past information that's degrading, that it's rarefied past, not rarefied matter. They call it the blend over of the self. The Pale does not only suspend the laws of physics, but also the laws of psychology, maybe history even. The human mind becomes over-radiated by past.
Who says and who argues?
The logical positivists say, the dialectical materialists argue.
What does this over-radiation feel like?
It feels terrible. Absolutely terrible. International standards strictly limit civilian travelers to 6 days of Pale exposure per year.
It's more for her. Way more.
You're not a civilian passenger?
No nameless detective of the Citizens Militia. I am a member of the Entreprenetic Business Class. I'm cleared and trained for 22 days of Pale transit annually.
Are you over-radiated?
Up to my gills, officer.
What is entroponetic?
Entreprenetics is the scientific study of the Pale, or a recent iteration of it by way of Grad. The study of the Pale reaches back 6,000 years. The Pericarnassians called it the Western Plain.
I mean, yeah, just the Pale is just, it's almost an indescribable thing.
They had not traveled the entire circumference of the Pericarnassian super.
But this is getting
Isola.
very deep into
It was
jargon.
not merely in the west. It was everywhere, even then, surrounding them.
There are signs of pre-modern crossings. Successful navigation of the Pale relies not just on technical know-how, but intensive psychological preparation.
Symbolize here.
Some of these tactics have been known for thousands of years. Nothing. We remain powerless before the Pale. The only real advance in Pale transit is the speed with which an aerostatic craft can pierce it. Less exposure leads to less effects later. Hybrid airships, Detective. Conventional rotors or jet engines no longer add velocity after the point of reference for motion is suspended, once you've crossed from near Pale to far Pale. In essence, we throw them in and they come out the other end. If we throw them precisely. Then they don't.
Gone, like a skipping stone beneath the surface.
Okay, let's return to reality.
Yes, sweet reality. But before we do, tell me, Detective, is this the first time you're hearing this? Do you really not remember anything?
I'm getting a sense of who I am, but no, I didn't know this.
Beyond curious. Tell me, what do you think of the Pale?
Its advance can only be stopped with immediate total ruthless communism. Powerful anti-communist force, perhaps too powerful to still. It doesn't sound very liberal to me.
Mm-hmm. You really didn't know. This does not spell good for the investigation, Detective. If you don't know even this, then...
This investigation will be my masterpiece, the one that you'll remember me by, I promise.
I hope so. I truly do. If I may suggest, hold on to your colleague, Kitsuragi. I ran a check on him and he is very competent. In the meanwhile, you have me. I will assist you in any way I can, even if we have to do it one basic term at a time.
Philosophy 101 class. Okay.
Glad to have been of assistance.
She got anything new to say?
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Nope. I still need a bag for bottles. Back here. I kind of want to wait for Kim to do a lot of this stuff.
Have you no shame? Whining about your back every time you bring out the measuring tape.
René, you're a man with a fork in a world of soup. Please, let's just try to enjoy the game, alright?
I'm trying to, but you keep breaking my concentration. You're old.
Grab the ball and show him
I
how
can
it's
see
done.
that. We're both old. Now stop grabbing your ass like it's a girl.
You are immediately surprised by the ball's lack of weight. No matter, you'll make it work. God, this is right. You feel the familiar tremble of excitement and adrenaline that precedes every victory. Time as frozen. A chilly breeze ruffles your hair as you stand there, feet firmly planted. All sounds, smells, even the wind, everything fades until the only thing left is the union of man and ball. West, in the Grand Couronne area, a sharp overhand left from Arsène Luc Edelbrock sends the Samaran heavyweight champion, Kostya Miasnok Kostanicha, flying to the mat. The crowd goes wild. Revachol loves her heroes.
Woohoo!
Merde! Bordel de merde!
I don't even know what I just did.
A whorehouse of shit? It wasn't whorehouse of shit. The shot was at least 23 meters, probably 24, and then some. Nothing to be embarrassed about.
What the hell is your problem?
Not a weak right triceps, that's for sure.
I don't care if you are a cop. You do not just ruin someone's game. It's so goddamn disrespectful.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You vandalized our game, son. We can't play pétanque with 5 bull.
P-Tank? I thought it was shot put.
Well, it damn well isn't. It's pétanque. You ruined a pétanque game. We want our bull back.
Take it easy, René. This is just a misunderstanding, isn't it, officer?
His bull.
No harm done.
Of course there's harm done, you orange slug. You owe us a goddamn bull.
Okay, I'll try to fix this.
Good. Mistakes are forgiven when men at least try to right their wrongs. I believe you will try. Now, why did you approach us?
Yes. Why did you come here? It's unlikely they know anything about the murder. You never know. He might know something.
Oh, okay,
this is a good vantage point.
Renee, I found your guard booth.
Yes. The Debardeurs Union pays me to stand vigil during the nights. Not out of any political allegiance, mind you. I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than a few hours every night anyway, and money is tight.
You must have seen something on the night of the murder. Your booth looks right into the yard.
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave since last Monday.
Why?
It's a private matter. Nothing to do with your investigation.
You see, officer, René is the kind of man who would rather die than admit he needs medical assistance or, God forbid, sick it. A real man's man is just gonna ride it out.
I'm fine, goddammit. Mind your own business. It's nothing. Just got to cut back on coffee.
So who was working your shift that night?
No one. The bus has been unmanned since last Monday. There's no other guard.
It's just in yard. It's been unguarded for a week.
Yes. It's not actually an issue. I mean...
Look, officer. The container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before, René. Monsieur Claire had that booth built specially for him.
So it doesn't matter if they're there or not.
The possibility of someone being in there is enough to discourage any ill-minded individuals.
Evrard created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabiniers' pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. A decorated Kingsman collecting tear reflects bad on the whole neighborhood. His words.
Evrard gets it. Big guys looking after the small and everyone working together. I love it. Such dependency that makes the man for their do or die. Raise but one man. We need a program. Get all the elderly back on the job market. Keep folks motivated. Right now, Mr. What's the profit with you guys?
Can we conclude the topic of my guard booth now?
I saw a picture in there. You were in it. Who's the girl?
She is nobody. This is none of your concern, and I refuse to discuss my private affairs with the RCM.
The lady is Jeanne-Marie Beaulieu, and she sure as hell wasn't a nobody.
Got it.
Yes. Like I said, I would be up anyway, so might as well keep an eye out. It keeps my senses sharp.
You seem to be playing in a crater.
Yes. The terrain here provides an interesting variety to a familiar game.
Does it have anything to do with the bullet holes I've been seeing around?
Yes. It was left by heavy artillery fire.
Okay, it's a crater left by artillery fire, but why?
Why what?
Why was heavy artillery used?
Because that's what happens when communards hijack your country, execute your supreme leadership, and turn your capital into a slaughterhouse. You use heavy ordnance to clean up your home.
Wait, who were the communards again?
Commies, communists, socialists, anarchists, call them what you like. They just chose a name to feel special. Senseless sentimentality.
Did you use artillery fire against them?
Sadly, no.
Oh,
it was the foreigners who brought them to their knees. We fought valiantly. Too valiantly. So valiantly we got licked. Should have fought dirty, like they did with their suicide sex cult propaganda and mad anarchist women strapped to shrapnel bombs. We didn't, though. And we lacked caliber. God bless him, but the suzerain's cannons simply weren't big enough.
It was probably a bit more complicated than that.
Why show them here in Martinez?
Because this place is a damn beachhead. Had to soften the commies up first. Yes, the military coordinated amphibious landing to take back Revachol. Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revachol during Operation Deathblow in 08. The other 2 are off in Stella Maris and the Delta. This here is Blood Ground, where Coalition boots first made landfall and cleaned those rabid dogs out. Most likely, we're playing pétanque on their mangled corpses.
Blood ground. You got old René going there. Like he isn't hungry enough already.
The Coalition.
Don't get me wrong, officer. I hate those foreign dogs, but the enemy of my enemy and all that. They're the lesser evil.
Actually, I already knew all this. I just wanted to know if you do.
Yes, damn it. I know. They laid the fire of hell on the city before they stormed it. And it worked, too. The rest of the city got cleaned up, but Martinez they keep as a monument. And now the Union Socialists are practically running the place.
Well, it's your own damn fault. You, we, the Coalition, Revachol, whoever you want to blame, never finished the job. Officially, the party never surrendered. Of course they still hold influence.
You don't even begin to truly understand the players on the table, let alone the specific circumstances surrounding the... What do you think?
Thinking men have opinions on these things. Present
So
one.
it should be soft socialists paving the way for the hard working class to take over. Foreign powers cleaned up our mess and now they rule us. This coalition seems quite capable. Commies just don't understand how money works.
I'm sorry it had to be them. After 8 years of fighting those hyenas, boiling cats for food and drinking piss in the mountains, I would have preferred if the Right Honorable King Guillaume returned through Revachol, or even if that damn clan Frisel had risen from the grave and led us. Sadly, that was not the case. Instead, all that is just, holy, and beautiful in the world was wiped away, and now it's neon signs with toothpaste ads everywhere. Foreign influence peddling garbage and stupid music on the radio. This is just what the commies wanted. This was their plan all along. This is what they wanted to replace the role of the suzerain with.
What exactly is the suzerain?
The suzerain is the king! Has everyone forgotten already? They've forgotten already. It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's balls when it happened. When we took our last stand against the filth and rode the cavalry straight into gunfire.
I need the ball. The bull. Who should I talk to? What should I do? Give me some recommendations. Supposed to unlock a door. Yeah, but I don't know if do I want to wait for Kim? I guess what I'm asking is, should I wait? Should I just sit on the bench and wait till tomorrow for Kim? Because it said anything I do alone will be harder. That's what the message, or the tutorial message said. And I kind of miss Kim too a little bit. Let's see if I have to prepay for the night.
Can I help you?
The main case, probably.
Got the 20 real? Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow.
Let's see. The door is behind the greenhouse in the yard. Okay, I know where that is. Is it right?
This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The copper nails holding the upholstery in place have turned green from sea air, and there's a knocker shaped like a lion's head.
Press my ear to the door.
The leather upholstery is worn and rough against your jaw. You don't hear any movement. In fact, it's oddly silent in the yard around you. No birds chirp.
I'm trying to knock.
You knock silently. The upholstery muffles the sound. No response comes from the apartment.
Okay, let's open
You
it.
try to be as silent as you can. It takes a bit of rattling of the handle to loosen the bolt. Finally, the door unlocks with a small clack. Thoughts race through your head. There might be important information in the apartment. I mean, there might. As you hold the open door, you can feel the air moving. A little draft, a whistle.
Small suitcase full of clothes. Guests are staying over. The hidden world of walking sticks lies open. The red sun on the flag. Dress shirt.
This is the flag of Revachol, the suzerainty.
Okay, suzerainty, that's the king.
This isn't just one sun, but there are little suns dancing around the big sun. This is the sevenfold sun miracle. It's an optical atmospheric anomaly the first settlers saw. Happens in cold weather. 6 small suns around the big one. This complex halo phenomena is how old Revachol got its flag. The flag doesn't seem to mind. It's just a colorful fabric with a sun sewn onto it. Like all feudal flags, it looks like a children's drawing. A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts a human figure. A dark-skinned woman grinning amidst mysterious symbols. A broad-shouldered man shoveling potatoes, and others. A little ring. Though cheerful, the images on the ceramic make you vaguely
Okay, so
uncomfortable.
this must be the racist mugs or something.
There's something disdainful in the way the curves and lines of the bodies were drawn. It looks like the artist is celebrating diversity, but underneath, he's just making fun of these people.
Cynical silver brother. Honestly, these are the stereotypes. I think they're being honest acknowledgements of difference. I don't think I like this department.
No one's telling you to like him. You might learn something from him, though. Yes, your broken mug friend would feel very much at home here. The same humor, The same mocking lines. The owner of this collection could be dumping his trash in the Whirling's container. An interesting little clue. Let's see where this goes. Clues have a way of magically connecting to other clues down the road. Perhaps you should break into apartments more often.
Is this really the same person who put the dead man's clothes in the trash?
Who knows? Could be. But this clothes in the trash lead doesn't really seem like it's going anywhere. Still, good thing to keep in mind. You could ask Everard who this person is once you're done here.
Okay, so we're supposed to leave the door open, right? And there's that old woman we were trying to get into her place. There was no door. This had to have been the door she was talking about. Who's that?
It's been a week and now they show up?
You see a young man on a balcony nursing a cigarette. His eyes have been following you for a while.
Damn, he's been there this whole time. I never even saw him.
Not looking for any trouble, officer.
It's the voice of someone who has something to hide, my liege.
No trouble from me. I just want to know what's going on here.
I don't want to be seen talking to the gendarmerie if that's okay. I just want to finish my cigarette.
Don't let him go. This could be your witness. The balcony has a great view of the whole thing.
Actually, the gendarmerie really needs to talk to you.
Is it really that important?
Like a nervous cat, he keeps stealing looks at the neighboring windows.
All right, but make it quick. Once I finish this cigarette, I have to run.
What's your name?
My name? My name is Martin Martinez.
That's definitely not his real name.
Yeah, the way he said that.
No, of course not. Could you please lower your voice?
Looks like you got a good view of the Whirling's backyard. Can you tell me anything about the hanging?
I can tell that you finally got him down. Thank you. It was quite a disturbing sight, even by Martinez standards.
What'd you do last Sunday?
Oh. You already asked me that, didn't you?
Wait, is someone else investigating
No, I didn't
the
ask
lynching?
that.
No, not you. Some more muscular type.
Was it someone from the police?
I couldn't tell you. We don't usually see much of the gendarmerie around here.
It wasn't Jean? Or maybe one of the Hardy Boys?
Last week? I don't know. Look.
He's an actor declaiming a soliloquy. See how you hang on his every word? He's deflecting. He's young with a sharp memory. He hasn't had time to drown it in booze and chemicals.
What were you doing last Sunday?
I had a friend over.
What kind of friend?
It was my Sunday friend.
A Sunday friend? How
What's your
intriguing.
friend's real name? Did he see something?
He doesn't reply, gesturing no with his cigarette. In the neighboring windows, you can see faint reflections of his silhouette, all from different angles.
All right, we'll talk later.
No. We won't. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really need to get going.
Fuck. Okay.
Good luck with the investigation.
He's a little sus.
A stone, like any other, lying in a whirl of sleet and mud. Maybe there's something under it. There's a key beneath it, rusty from the dirt.
Okay.
Looks like it could belong to the building's front door.
What could we do? I don't know what these pluses are. Let's up this a little bit. We can. I'm not sure how this works exactly. Eviction notices and missing pets. I relate to that. Minus the missing pets. Let's see, I think I had a new like shirt, right? +1 on my logic. No, my logic's already high. Yeah, I don't need that. Okay. Moss crawls on these bathroom tiles. Literal actual moss.
This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says, number 11. No reply. No reply. It's a solid lump of metal, but the shackle is deeply corroded. A solid pair of chain cutters would make short work of it. Better whip out those cutters. You won't get very far otherwise.
Tool not in hand. Okay, so let me... Did Kim take them? No.
This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number. The shackle snaps like a twig, and the lock falls to the floor with a little thud. It should be possible to enter now.
Gloves. Now let's get my book out. The flint plant poster of a white star, real lithography. Revolutionaries posing with guns. Okay, this looks very communist, especially the bust.
A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man with impressive sideburns. The name on the plinth reads Kraz Mazov. Kraz Mazov, nom de guerre, was an economist and a theoretical historian. He was a leading figure in the Grad side of the turn-of-the-century revolution, where he headed the 9-day government. Mazov is considered the father of scientific communism, Mazovian thought, or Mazovianism.
Mazovianism is Marxism. Father Mazov, the hero of the working class.
A warm feeling fills you as you look into Mazov's marble eyes. The hallway behind the door is empty. No one else heard your courageous salute.
It's here. Sorry, I'm using a lounge jacket. So I didn't. Let's do that. Damn! This is a fit, bro. Rate my fit. Rate my fit. And new shoes? Oh, look like shoes. That was a lot of money. Okay.
You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The number on the panel says 10. The walking stops abruptly, but no one comes to the door. A poor communard from the looks of it. The room is barely bigger than a closet.
This is the police.
Do I have to open the door?
It is horrendous. A little bit, yeah.
Do you have a warrant? I'm not obligated to open the door if you don't have a warrant.
It's generally easier to do things if you have literally any reason.
True. Well, most of the things I do in this game really have no reason behind them, but they end up working in the end.
Give me a moment.
Okay, this was the girl that would not open up.
The cold never does any good for my bronchitis.
Are you alright?
I'm fine. Fine. Don't you worry about me. Now, what do you want from me, policeman?
She's the cleaning lady. She knows the floor plan and the residence.
Who are you?
I'm no one. Just an old woman who cleans these hallways. It's barely bigger than a closet. But I don't complain, no. I have my bed and my aching bones to keep me company. And that's all I need from this world.
And all she gets, too. The coastal wind beats down hard on the cold room door outside. Splashes of waves make the balcony slippery. She hasn't spoken to anyone for a while. Even her sentences feel rusty.
Looking for a young male in his mid-20s, dark hair, skinny build, smoker on the balcony?
Yes, yes. I know who you mean. The scrawny boy who's always smoking like the devil, right?
Somewhere in the building, a child starts crying. You hear a radio tuned to a talk show and someone taking a shower.
What's he in trouble for?
No trouble, just want to talk to him.
Talk?
What was so funny about that?
He lives upstairs in room 28. Go to the balcony. It's one of those doors there. He's usually home in the evening. Ask away, policeman.
It's a padlocked door.
Oh, that one is a scientist, a future scholar. I think he studies astrology at the community college. Education's good. I always tell them to study. Something to do with all those stars around his door. He asked me to leave his drawings up on the wall. The symbol of what now?
Astrology. You know, the ones who support the working class project against the capital.
Never heard of it. People come and go. I don't keep an eye on everyone.
They probably just moved or died, hopefully somewhere else.
Who lives in apartment 10?
No one lives there. It's been empty for months.
I talked to someone through the door.
Impossible. I would know if someone had moved in there.
Come on.
Maybe it's those countercultural people again. Breaking into a house like it's a public space. You're a policeman. Be good and take a look, will you?
It's Cindy. It's Cindy and her crew.
Great. Young people. They're worse than rats. You know, always littering the hallways with trinkets and empty beer cans.
What can you tell me about Cindy?
The artiste? Nothing I can do about her, I'm afraid. She ruins the walls faster than I can clean them. Still, she leaves an old lady to her business. More than I can say for others.
She mumbles some kind of a response, then hacks something into her handkerchief.
What's in here? Right here. And take those. This is a nice ass fucking apartment complex.
A shift in temperature. The air chills around you. Dust settles on the stony floor. A former architect stands before a slice of window, a room plan in her hand. A cold wave has made the air in the building stand still and frozen, with temperatures falling down to minus 20 degrees Celsius.
You know what? I'm just gonna shiver. You know, that was a beautiful thought. It was a bit intrusive. Say he lived in room number 28. We'll see who that is.
Ooh,
Oh,
the
it's Cindy.
piggies
Okay,
have
I've
learned
been
how
here.
to
I know where I'm
saunter up staircases. I didn't think you could do that with hooves.
We've
But
evolved.
here you are. Yeah, I can see that. Cool mutations.
That smell coming from her paint bucket. It's not paint. It's heavy fuel oil.
Oh god.
Red-dyed heavy fuel oil is only used in government vehicles, or at least that's the idea.
What did you think I was using? Aquarels? Sucked it out of a cop's fuel tank myself. Back in Jamrock.
Some clever cultural commentary.
You ain't seen nothing yet, Piggy Boo.
Catch you later, Cindy.
Why does art inspire you so much?
It does, yes, but what is art? No words for flowcards.
Excellent question. Art is a diverse range of visual, literary, auditory, and performative creativity. It's an expression of imagination and technical skill. Additionally, it's history, criticism, and pure enjoyment. In short, art is the highest form of human communication, representation, narrative, emotion, and agency intertwined.
Would I fit into the art world? I mean...
Have you looked in the mirror lately? You have the exact features of a savage art critic, with that beard and those clothes, disheveled and prophetic. Perhaps you should try to critique architecture too.
Hold on, is architecture also art?
Of course not. It's autism, box drawing, masturbation with a ruler and a sextant or whatever they use. You should demean and criticize the genteel institution of architecture while extolling the virtues of the pure arts.
Wait, what about music? Is it art?
Only the most experimental kind.
I guess I have been feeling critical lately.
Yes, you seek substance. No vapid representations and reproductions of social mores as made manifest in stuffy biennials. We're talking real, living art here. Become the art cop. Half art critic, half cop.
Wait, but don't I have to be 100% cop to get the case finished? No. Okay, 50% art critic is what's needed to free me from rote repetition, so be it.
Exactly. It's not only your duty to only catch the criminals off the street, you must also apprehend criminals of the printing press and the gallery, the trite and derivative artists and writers of the world. Go ahead and provide savage criticisms, art cop. The world is yours to rip to pieces and reassemble.
Laborer jeans? there. A fit? I'm kind of, honestly, I'm sorry, I can't. Creepy.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Is that bed in the coal room yours?
Ooh. Not only have you found my address, you've discovered my biggest secret. I'm a coal miner.
She does have eyes that seem to be smeared with coal.
Really, you're a miner?
Yes. I keep hoping a shaft will collapse on me, but somehow it never happens.
Do you have a real home?
Does anyone in a city like this?
It's not the nicest place, but I guess it'll have to do.
It doesn't have to do anything at all. Nothing does. Like me. Right now, I'm doing nothing at all.
The inspiration will come to her once hell is set loose on the streets. It's too calm right now.
Shoot, Piggy.
Ruination has come. The broken arches betray the once grand history of this building. It towered over the harbor until it happened. A great force from the northeast fired into the city. Heavy artillery shelled the coastline. Fired from the water. A straight shot into Revachol. The tenement acted as a defensive wall against the worst of the shelling until it was destroyed, and they had a direct firing line. Those arches acted as support for something greater than what you see now. Only 3 stories stand where 9 to 12 once did. Restoration has failed. What the shelling took out was never rebuilt. Underwater, iron helmets have sunk deep into the sand and the mud. Helmets of soldiers, and their finger bones too, and clavicles, littering the ocean floor. A fleet, the combined armies of Occident and Grad, with Mesk volunteers, a 5-nation army, hundreds of vessels. They massed airships further down in the Bay of Revachol. The artillery was so powerful. The ships not only required gyroscopic stabilization, they were anchored into the ocean floor as well. Many are still there to this day. If you squint, you can just barely see the shadow on the water, far in the northeast. Cannons still ready to placate Revachol. Coalition warship Archer can shoot 50 shells a minute on 20 co-aligned archers. They will reach the city in 58 seconds.
Let me save it. So that was 3 a.m. I may save it and come back to Revachol tomorrow. I assume you're getting sleepy. Come back to Martinez. You're a bit more sleepy. And you're dizzy again? No! Sorry. Okay, comrade. Good night, comrade. I can text you. I'll text you good night and send you a, not any lewd photos of myself. Yeah, okay. Good night, comrade.